let's welcome the members of our firefighters, fire police, and EMS workers. First, we say hello to Palisades Regional Fire Rescue Fire Company. The Del Valle Fire Company. The Upper Black Eddy Volunteer Fire Company. And Upper Bucks Regional EMS. At this time, the Palisades School District would like to recognize and honor all of the current and retired military members that we have with us tonight on the field or in the stands. When called, please stand and be recognized. Members of our Air Force, members of our Army, our Coast Guard, our Marines, and the United States Navy. On behalf of the Palisades School District, administration, faculty, staff, students, and the entire Palisades community and surrounding areas, we salute you. Thank you for keeping us safe, healthy, and for running to us when we need you the most. Thank you.
Hello there. How are you? Good, how are you? All right?
Well, I
Good.
was with Silas.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the
Yes, I
Walt
forgot about
Walter T. Rohr Stadium for tonight's Colonial School League football contest between the Panthers of Panther Valley High School and the Pirates of Palisades. And now for tonight's starting offensive lineups.
What's the theme like tonight?
First for Panther Valley,
red, white, and blue like the team.
under head coach Mark Levine, the
gotta see what
Panthers
they're
are
doing.
2-3 on the season. At quarterback, number 4, Brody Briner. At running back, number 5, Brennan
Oh, I heard you guys
Kunkel.
won.
At fullback, number 22, Marcus Rodriguez. At wide receiver, number 1, Brady Jones.
That's a big trip, huh?
At wide receiver, number 3, Connor Henberg. At tight end, number 88, Logan Fisher. At left tackle, number 55, Eli Maynard. At left guard, number 51, Brad Jones. At center, 52, Clinton Dyer. At right guard, number 60, Michael Williams. And at right tackle, number 56, Marco Tessitore. Now the starting offensive lineup for the Palisades Pirates under head coach Bobby Smith. The Pirates are 1-5. At tackle, number 59, Gavin Lee. At tackle, number 50, Silas Day. At guard, number 75, Toby Witt. At guard, number 64, Danny Haubert. At center, number 72, Yuki Vashon. At wide receiver, number 5, Riley Sessinger. At wide receiver, number 6, Austin Rambo. At wide receiver, number 7, Logan Sharp. At fullback and tailback, number 33, Kyle Kirsch. The running back, number 22, John Haubert. And at quarterback, number 2, Greg Borgeson.
Palisades High School here at Walter T. Rohrer Stadium, the site for Schuylkill League Colonial League football action. It's the Panther Valley Panthers with a record of 2-3, and the Palisades Pirates with a record of 1-4. Al DiCarlo alongside Jake Bucci, a junior here at Palisades High School, and we welcome you here to a big night of football. We expect a good matchup between these two teams. It's first responder night, military night, homecoming night. Jake, and excited to be here once again, and we expect to see a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, nothing not expected here. Everything's supposed to be pretty good. I mean, two decent teams. I mean, Palisades not off to the best start, but hopefully they can get a win here.
I'll wait for the Palisades Pirates to make their way onto the field. And here they come. Again, different uniforms for them tonight. They're going to be hard to see from us up here, but, boy, they got a lot of colors on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Red, white, and blue. Got to represent.
Let's take a look at the Panther Valley. A couple of players to watch. Brody Briner is a sophomore quarterback. He's passed for 616 yards on the season. He's also rushed for 323 and a couple touchdowns. So obviously he can do both. Greg Borgeson, their junior quarterback, at 380 yards, and he's rushed for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. And take a look at the keys of the game.
Well, Panther Valley has to tackle well and limit big plays and turnovers, and Palisades has to play as one and get off to a fast start, because when they can get off to a fast start, it's just smooth sailing from there.
Both coaches in their second year as head coaches, Mark Levine and Bobby Smith, the two head coaches for tonight's game. But, again, keep your eyes on number 4 for Panther Valley, number 2 for Palisades. We'll take a look at the offense quickly, and obviously you see Borgeson and Hobart. I think Kurt's got to be really key tonight. He does everything. He's a leader with, being a senior as well.
Yeah, absolutely. John Harbert, good running back as well. A lot of yards so far this season, or a decent amount of yards so far this season. So let's see what happens.
Meanwhile, Panther Valley making their way onto the field as well.
We're going to do the national anthem after the coin toss.
With that, we'll bring in Panther Valley's offense again. Briner, Brendan Kunkel, and Marcus Rodriguez, the 3 guys that we're going to see, really run the football. But Brady Jones so far this year has 15 catches for 325 yards. So you have to really keep your eye on number 1, the wide receiver.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we honor America and the great men and women who serve our country.
And now we pause and honor America with the singing of our national anthem.
Performed by the Palisades Madrigal Singer. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Palisades Madrigal Singer.
Tonight's officials, the referee, Jim Haney, the umpire, Barry Schaefer, Sr., the linesman, Tommy Singer.
Now we get ready for some football action between these two. Take a look at the officials. The veteran Jim Haney in the house. I saw him. I'm like, what's he doing over here? I always take a shot at Jim Haney, a good friend of mine. He's been doing it for a long, long time. Barry Schaefer is there. Tommy Singer, the linesman. Jack Fleming, the line judge. And the back judge is Craig Raduzzi, is your back judge. So glad you could join us here. Panther Valley with a record of 2-3. Palisades with a record of 1-4. McLevine in his second year. They're coming off a loss against Minersville by a score of 41-28. Bobby Smith in his second year coming off a loss to Schuylkill Haven by a score of 14-7. Last year when they played, Palisades won this one by the score of 35-7. And we mentioned the two players that we're highlighting in the open will be the sophomore quarterback, Brody Briner, 34 of 77, 616 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 5 INTs. And rushing-wise, 75 for 323, and 2 touchdowns. Greg Borgeson, junior quarterback, passing 33 for 72, 380 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and rushed for 30 times for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. I want to thank Brian Gilbert, as always, for making this possible. We started this program here with students back in 2018. We were here the other night for some field hockey action as well. Jake's been with me a couple times doing a couple different games, so it's excited to be back in the booth with him. And this game is not only a game that's going to be key for the white division, but when it comes to districts, and we'll look at that real quick. The district rankings, we'll pop them in while we have a second, is if you're the top 4 teams make it in, and right now Palisades sitting at 5. Despite teams below them at 2 and 3 because of the strength of schedule, Palisades sitting there at 5. So a win here tonight will help them, but then they have the Penn Argels coming up in Catasauqua and Saucon Valley in a bigger classification to help them put them in that position as well. As far as that white division standings, we see it right now. Minersville leading the attack. And there you see where Panther Valley and Palisades stand.
I would honestly say today is a must-win for Palisades because if they win today, we can see what happens in the next few weeks.
All right, we get ready to get things underway here from Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. I mean, all the numbers to me look exactly the same, so it's going to be really difficult here. Borgeson has it on the tee and lets this one fly, and we are underway, and that picked up at the 10-yard line, and a big stick. And we'll see the Panther Valley offense make their way onto the field for the first time tonight. Again, Brody Briner, the quarterback, and the backfield, Brennan Kunkel and Marcus Rodriguez, and your wideouts, Brady Jones and Connor Penberth. You're starting skilled players, and of course they have a solid offensive line as well. Okay, when you look at a matchup like this, and you saw it in the keys, get off to that quick start, and a lot of these teams, when you're trying to get that win and get the motivation for the players, you're trying to get that done as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure I heard Coach Bobby Smith say that this is a brand new Palisades team coming into tonight's game.
Get that ball! Come on, Pirates!
Straight run right off the bat by Brody Briner. Briner scoots out of bounds after a short pickup. Again, only a sophomore. Talking to Coach Levine, he talked about Brady Jones making some big plays. Connor Penberth had a couple kick returns, had a touchdown with 10 seconds left in the half a week ago. And Brody Briner last week, even though we say run and pass, he passed for 271 yards. That's a lot, for a high school quarterback to pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I don't think he was mentioned in one of the players of the game, but Silas Day is also a really key player on this defense.
So just underway from Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. Briner rolls far side, now puts this one up and has a receiver, and we got a lot of contact there. Let's see. There it is. Well, we saw that contact, and then they're going to give this one.
I'm not going to lie, I think everyone could see that.
Yeah. Logan Fisher was the intended receiver downfield. Jim Haney will make this call. So if you're Panther Valley, that's a great start. If you're Palisades, not so great.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure that was Greg Borgeson who got that pass interference call, so not a great start for the quarterback on defense.
So it puts him in great field position. And nowhere to go. Good job defensively. Marcus Rodriguez with his first carry of the game.
Ball is carried by number 22, Marcus Rodriguez. Daniel Hubbard gets there first, followed by host of Pirates. Loss of 2 on the play.
You know, sometimes we look at our monitor to see numbers. I don't even think I could see him up there when it comes to Palisades number.
Yeah, I honestly don't think I could see him from 5 feet away. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I was down the field and I couldn't. So a loss of 2. Briner, far side, now throws, and that one is incomplete. Good job defensively by the Pirates, knocking that one away. And I'll bring up a 3rd down.
Now, talking about the jerseys, one of the jerseys that I like that Palisades have are the black and pink ones. I like those ones, and they're pretty easy to see, to be honest, compared to the American flags.
So you should wear them every week is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Just underway, a minute in. And 3rd down and 12. Glad you can join us here on PSD TV. Again, 1-4 versus 2-3. And it was a big, after the pass interference call, this is a big play here for really both teams. See what they can do. Oh, wow. That's one of the biggest sticks I've seen this season, without question. I was at Lehighton and Blue Mountain yesterday, and there was a big one, but boy, that was huge.
Now, like you were saying, Kyle Kirsch is a big asset on this offense and on this defense, as you can see there.
I mean, Kirsch came in undetected, and he made him pay on that one. So it brings up a 4th down, and the punting unit comes in. That's Brad Jones that punts that one away. And if you are Palisades, you'll get good field position to start things off. While we have a second, we can take a look at the schedules for both of those teams. You know, Palisades had the loss against Bangor, and then they got the win against Wilson, convincingly lost to Palmerton, lost to Southern Lehigh, one of the best teams out there right now. And Schuylkill Haven, that was their biggest. That's a tough loss, that 14-7 loss. They really wanted that one. Panther Valley, meanwhile, beat Salisbury, lost twice to Tri-Valley and Mahanoy area. Shenandoah Valley, they won, and they lost a tough one in a good one against Minersville.
Now, like we were saying earlier, Penn Argyl is right above Palisades in the standings, so a win this week and a win against Penn Argyl next week could help a lot.
So we expect a lot of running here from the Pirates tonight. And they'll start things off on the ground. So we saw the big shot earlier by Kirsch. Now you see the big, the run. Again, if you're getting 3-4 yards of pickup, you're gonna take it. On the ground, and this time it's John Hobart. Hobart leans forward and it's close to that 1st down marker. So 3rd down and a long one. They'll give it to Kirsch again and dives forward after getting bumped. And they'll pick up the 1st down.
So Kyle Kirsch making plays earlier on offense and defense.
So the first down of the game for Palisades. I talked to Bobby Smith before the game. He said, we're going to run. He goes, we want to run. But he also said, we're going to throw the ball if we can. Again, there was weather earlier, but I think tonight, for the most part, the weather will be pretty good.
Yeah, the rushing game is going to be really key here.
So this one will be called against Panther Valley. So if you're the Pirates, all of a sudden you gain those 5 yards and you're sitting there at the 48-yard line.
A 5-yard penalty.
8 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the opening quarter of play. Here from Palisades High School, Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. Ooh. Is that 2 in a row? So the last thing Coach Levine wants to happen is that. I mean, back-to-back penalties and gains you 10 yards and moves you even closer to about the 43-yard line.
As you were saying, the rushing game is going to be key, but not when they're doing stuff like that.
So from the 43, wow. That is 3 straight times.
They might not have to rush the ball.
It's got to be tough there for Panther Valley. I'm sure Coach is not happy whatsoever. I don't know the last time I've seen 3 straight offside plays. And you're down to the 38-yard line. After that. And on the ground, they'll take it. And a solid pickup.
Yeah, when you can have a quarterback that can rush well, a few good rushers, and some of the wide receivers rushing as well, the rushing game is going to be really key.
Wow. And Borgerson, I don't know if he's having a long count or, but he's got him 4 times in this drive alone. So the ball just like that down to the 25-yard line. On the handoff, and not much there for Kyle Kirsch. Clock winding down inside 7 minutes here, opening quarter. Always great to be back here at Palisades. Nick Lefevre in the house, the wrestling coach, wrestling extraordinaire. He's a legend in his own mind.
Yeah.
6:25 on the clock.
Legend in my heart.
And on the ground they go. And taken there by Ashton Fitzgerald. So Fitzgerald with a couple carries here in this drive.
Now, last game against Schuylkill Haven, there was a decent amount of passes, especially at the end of the game when Lincoln Cook actually got called out of bounds in the end zone that could have tied it. But
yeah, that was right at the end near the end, correct. Well, the ball goes down to the 20-yard line. First down and 10 for the Pirates. And they'll pitch it back. And taken there by Halbert. Halbert broke through, and Halbert will go in. So with 5:32 on the clock, a 20-yard touchdown by Halbert, and Palisades scores first.
Number 4 on the season for John Halbert.
So it comes with 5:32 on the clock here in the first quarter. So never threw the ball once on that drive. I think there was 5 penalties. It could have been 6, actually. 5 or 6 penalties. And Panther Valley will actually call a timeout here before the extra point attempt. But saw Halbert. He gets lost in there, right? He gets lost, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, he comes out of it, and he scores the touchdown to give him the lead.
Well, he's very elusive, especially because of his size. I mean, He's not the tallest man, but he can get through gaps.
You saw it there, 5'9", 140. Solid wrestler as well.
Property of Nick Lefevre.
Glad you could join us here on PSD TV. Al DiCarlo, Jake Bucci. Panther Valley coming in with a record of 2-3. Palisades coming in with a record of 1-4. They score on the first drive of the game. Again, if you're just joining us, the opening drive for Panther Valley, there was a pass interference call that got them almost towards midfield, but after that, they really couldn't do anything with the football.
Yeah, after that pass interference, it kind of just went downhill from there, punted the ball, and Palisades went down and scored.
So the Pirates will line up for the extra point. And that one is up and good. So Borgeson never had to throw the football on that drive, but the Pirates convert with 5:32 on the clock.
And what a way to start the game if you're Palisades.
And I think, when you look at the two teams and, you're struggling, right? And you want that confidence. You want to make sure that, things go your way. And it's such a long game. But if you're Palisades, you did everything right so far. But if you're Panther Valley, you really did everything wrong because you had those 5 penalties in that drive. Now, if you're Coach Mark Levine, you're on that sideline. Guys, it's 7-0. We restart. Let's go downfield and get the job done. That's how you got to take it one play at a time now.
Yeah, if you think back to the keys of the game, Palisades was get off to an early start, and that's what they're doing here.
Borgeson has it on the tee. Lets this one fly. And they fake the reverse. Oh, no, they don't. Oh, another big stick on that reverse was Connor Penberth. I mentioned Penberth had a kick return in a previous game. But so far we saw 2 big hits, both coming from the Palisades side. All right, so 5:26 on the clock, opening quarter. How's school going, by the way?
It's going great. Living the life,
Oh, living the life. Look at this. Looking ahead for Panther Valley, they'll get at Schuylkill Haven, and for Palisades, they'll be at Penn Argyl. 1st and 10, the ball sits at the 20-yard line, and they'll start things on the ground. But one thing about Palisades, year in and year out, I always talk about their interior line, and somehow, I don't care who's coaching, the interior line always is a huge factor of what this Palisades team does.
Yeah, the offensive line, defensive line, just like last year, everything's going to play a big role here.
Inside 5 to play, opening quarter. 7-0 is your score. Panther Valley taking their time here, and they'll hand that ball off once again to Brennan Kunkel, and he's taken down immediately on the play, and that puts him in 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, 2 3rd and longs here already for Panther Valley. This is not the way you want to start the game.
Now, on the previous drive, quarterback ran, and then they threw that long pass play that was a pass interference. Here, just going straight run first 2. Now, everyone's expecting the pass. Let's see what happens. Marcus Rodriguez is back in the backfield. Bryner looking to throw. That stays up there for a while and incomplete. I don't know if it may have gotten even tipped. So 3 and out. And the Pirates will get the football back, and they'll get, depending on a run back or where they get it, great field position. Brad Jones in there once again to punt the ball away. High snap. Gets one into the lights, and that one goes out. So, I mean, punting-wise, you're talking maybe about a 20-yard punt or so. And Palisades going to have great field position right around the 30-yard line.
Yeah, starting on Panther Valley's half.
Only score in the game so far, 20-yard touchdown by John Hobart to make it 7-0. That came at the 5:32 mark. And, Jake, this is a huge drive. It sounds crazy, but you saw a 3-and-out. You saw, the pass interference, but other than that, Palisades has controlled it defensively. Offensively, you punch it in, you got yourself a 14-0 lead or so. You're in good shape. Panther Valley on the other side just got to, hold their own.
Yeah, realistically, it's all about morale. So a touchdown here could do lots.
Borgeson goes off his hands, and here it goes on the ground. He gets a good job of diving back on top of it as he was pressured on a play by Eli Maynard. So that was the first time they looked to throw. And the ball back to the 34-yard line.
Can't really blame him here, though. It's a little wet out.
Yep. There's another ball that gets loose and just picked right back up. Wow. So you think maybe you're not going to do anything with it. Next thing you know, you have the ball. It trickles right back in your hand.
Never seen any kind of trick play like that.
Bouncing it up to yourself for Hubbard.
I don't know if he was playing basketball or football there.
So if that's any indication, 2 plays in a row, the ball, how it was snapped. Borgeson, he'll throw. And comes near side. That one's handled. And they will get a first down, and that goes to Hobart. Up across the 20 down to about, that's close actually. And there's a flag on the play. I think this one's going to be on Palisades. Yeah, so the penalty here against Palisades for an ineligible player downfield, so that negates that first throw of the game. Moves the ball back to the 29-yard line. Borgeson takes a high snap. He'll roll. Here comes some pressure. He's going to try to make the turn. He's going to have to just tuck it and go. There's a lot of room on the other side. He's going to go that route. He's still looking for a player if he can. He's just starting to make the turn and just turn up. So it doesn't gain that many yards. Maybe he went 50 yards, but ends up gaining 3 or so. A little bit more than that. And bring up a 4th down. Sometimes when you see the other side, get loose, you're like, whoa, something can happen.
Yeah, the other side looks so promising until you see all those players
right.
collapse on you.
So the ball sits at the 22-yard line, 1:25 left on the clock. They call timeout here? Yeah, they will. So Bobby Smith calls a timeout. It comes at 1:17 on the clock. And they'll talk about this one. Again, only touchdown of the game, only points of the game. 29-yard score, a 20-yard score by John Hobart at the 5:32 mark. Jake, so far there's been a couple of home games. Have you been to all of the home games?
Yes, I have. They've all been pretty exciting. I actually went to the one win at Wilson, not a home game, but I saw that game, saw all 41 points, and that might have been one of the longest games I've ever been to.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yep, and that was early on, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, when those earlier games, sometimes there's probably some cramping going on and you get into those kind of games that just take a long time.
Yeah, it was a slow first half and a really slow second half. All the points were scored in the second, actually.
Okay. So 1:17 on the clock. It brings about 4th down and 7. The ball sits at the 22-yard line of Panther Valley with Palisades leading by the score of 7-0. Borgeson takes the snap, now rolls, and throws this one, and that one towards the end zone, touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown pass. And that's Kirch.
Kyle Kirsch, an asset on all parts of the field, receiving, rushing, defense. Put him wherever you need him, he'll play it.
Palisades looking to add to that. And that one is up and good. Pirates with 1:10 on the clock, first quarter, lead by the score of 14-0. And sometimes you get the extra delay because you're just verifying which player it is.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying earlier, these jerseys are, I'm not going to say terrible, but looking-wise, trying to tell what player it is, they're
nice if you're walking the halls.
Yeah. Nice if you're the players.
Yep.
Let's go with that.
So a 20-yard touchdown by John Halbert, the 5:32 mark. A 22-yard pass from Borgson to Kyle Kirsch at the 1:10 mark makes it 14-0. For Kirsch, that's his second receiving touchdown of the season. And that's Borgerson's third throwing touchdown. So Panther Valley here in the first. Kind of misty kind of night. There's, the rain. You could see it, from up here, obviously, and you see how slick that ball was on three in a row.
Now, I'm not going to lie. This is one of my favorite conditions to play in.
Oh, no doubt about that one not getting returned. Borgson, does he help out with soccer at all or what? How's soccer season going?
I mean, so far we're doing pretty average. We're 4-6-2 actually. We have a game tomorrow against Plumstead Christian. For anyone that wants to come out at 11 o'clock.
There you go. We'll be doing soccer down the road, live streaming against, I believe, Saucon Valley. A couple weeks.
You'll get to see me.
We'll have you mic'd up down there.
That's not that bad of an idea.
So back to action here for Panther Valley, down 14-0 with 1:10 on the clock. And they hand that one over to Brady Jones, see if they can get number 1 involved. And he loses a couple yards, could never make the turn. Pirates defense has been on it the entire night. I think it was Kirsch.
Man, Kyle Kirsch is on fire today.
So inside a minute. It seemed like that first quarter, he got down this right before the first touchdown by Palisades. It was moving along, and then it came to like a standstill. And this likely could be the last play of this quarter. Briner out of the gun. Briner's going to take it himself. And he moves upfield. I said last play, but that one goes out of bounds. So there'll be a third down. I mean, obviously, Palisades made some quick adjustments after that first drive because Briner had a huge run, and after that, they've been completely shut down.
Palisades doing what needs to be done.
So 3rd down and 6 from the 24-yard line.
Now Palisades gets another 3-and-out here. That is great for the morale of Palisades, but Panther Valley's just looking downhill.
Briner going to try to go near side. He's got a good block in front, but nowhere to go. There may be a hold there as well. It looked like there was a little extra tug in there, holding him back, but Briner couldn't make it around that defense. A lot of purple jerseys there. Yeah, there's your holding call. So Palisades will decline that penalty, and they'll get the ball back. I mean, I'm saying at the end of the quarter, they're going to get the ball back, and depending on what happens on the return, they may even run a play. So another 3-and-out here for Panther Valley. Actually, they don't have to run a play. So 1 complete here for Palisades High School, Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. 14-0 Pirates. We'll come back after this on PSD TV. Back to action on the punt. Here comes the pressure, and they get the block. So the Pirates will get the block there. Trying to get a number. I believe it was Ashton Fitzgerald. I know he was there in the mix. Not sure if he's the one that got it, though.
And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Ashton Fitzgerald blocked a punt this year before as well.
Down and 10 on the 13-yard line.
So great field position now for the Pirates.
Let's go, Pirates!
So the Pirates get the ball from the 13-yard line. And Borgerson will take it himself and inch closer.
Borgerson on the carry, the tackle by number 10, Ryan Weiser. Flag on play, because he stood over him and taunted him, I believe. They got 10, it's for that.
Wow. So Panther Valley gets a penalty, and that inches it closer for
Second down and 1.
So the ball now sitting on the 5-yard line for the Pirates. And they go on the ground, and scooting his way through for the touchdown is Halbert.
Number 2 on the night for Harvard and number 5 on the season.
5 yards, and the Pirate touchdown.
Gotta love those wrestlers.
And again, penalty helping them and, giving him more of an opportunity there. But if you're Palisades, you are just moving along right now. Extra point to add to this lead, and that one is up, and that one is through. And with 11:20 left here in the first half, it's quickly 21-0 in favor of the Pirates. All right, Jake, what have you seen here from Palisades that you like?
So far, I mean, I've honestly liked everything, I'm not going to lie. The defense is playing absolutely fantastic, besides from the one call at the beginning of the game. And the offense is playing a star-studded offense. John Harbert rushing the ball, Kyle Kirsch getting in for a touchdown as well, and Greg Borgerson making plays happen.
And touchdowns by Harbert. He's got 2, one from 20 and one from 5. And then Kirsch from Borgerson has the touchdown from 22 yards. And if you're Panther Valley right now, obviously their offense have just sputtered. A return here is crucial for them, even if they get up to the 30, 35-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the defense hasn't been doing too well this game. A few penalties on defense that moved Palisades up a few yards, but a decent return can go a long way.
So on the tee, letting this one fly. This is returnable, and it'll start from the 10-yard line. And this is the dangerous one in Connor Penberth, and there's a flag on the play as he gets driven out of bounds. It's a couple flags.
The return by number 3, Connor Penberth. Brought out of bounds by 44, Ashton Fitzgerald. There's a flag on the play after the 20-yard return.
So they're going to move this one back inside the 20. Again, the veteran out there, Jim Haney. (11:13) on the clock. 21-0 is your score. Panther Valley will go at Schuylkill Haven, at Catasauqua. So they're in the midst of first of 3 road games. That's always tough. Then finish at home with Penargil and Tamaqua. For Palisades after this game, they get at Penargil, at Minersville 2 in a row, Catasauqua and Saucon Valley at home. We'll have that Saucon Valley game for you at the end of the season. And that could be one of the last game of the season, could be one that's going to maybe be the one they need to get into the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, especially against a rival team like Saucon Valley. If they can win a few games here and then play Saucon Valley and win that one, then that could secure a spot in the playoffs.
Briner on the carry and nothing doing. Comes in there, and that's Silas Day. You mentioned Day. He came in there and just put him right down on the ground. Only a sophomore at 6 foot 185. Another wrestler. Nick Lefevre's got a bunch of wrestlers out here.
Seems like all the wrestlers making the play. John Halbert, Danny Halbert, wow. And then Silas Day. Next thing you know, Angelo Zaccardi is coming in for a tackle.
So 10:30 on the clock. 21-0. Briner will come the other way, and he has to get rid of that one because he had pressure. He was looking in the direction of Marcus Rodriguez, but because of that pressure, he had to just get it off just a tad earlier, and that paid off for Palisades.
And so far, Palisades' defense is playing absolutely fantastic.
I think when you watch a game like this and you're looking at the possibility, I believe this will be 3 straight 3-and-outs if they can't convert here. They've just been limited completely. And if you're Panther Valley and Coach Mark Levine, what have you drawn up here? Here's Briner. He gets out of the pocket here. I will be able to throw this one, and that one is incomplete. And there's a flag. I wasn't sure about that one. There was some, tugging there, and kind of held him up a little bit. But that flag came out a little later than I anticipated. But I think it's the right call.
I think the same thing. I saw that a little bit, and officials made the right call.
And look at Briner. He had time to throw, and you could see what he can make happen. But we have not seen him have that much time so far tonight.
Yeah, Palisades applying a lot of pressure, but if Briner can get out in the pocket and make a throw, then
So they get the holding call. They'll move the chains for the first down because of the penalty, and they'll move the ball up to the 28-yard line.
So second pass interference of the game for Palisades.
That's the only way that the ball was moved, other side of Briner's first down, I believe, in the beginning of the game.
Let's go, boys!
So Briner, back foot throws. That's going to be trouble. It almost was picked off. The junior at 5'10", Austin Rambo. Again, pressure, and the ball just hung up there a little long. Panther Valley taking a lot of time here to run this play. Play clock down to 11 seconds.
Yeah, when you're getting pressured like that.
They're going to have to burn a timeout. I don't think they're going to get this one off. I'll be surprised they get this one off. Hope they did. 1 second on the clock. And they'll flare it to the far side. They had their receiver in Bouchatti, but it went in and out of his hands. Another flag. Didn't even see that flag. There's been a lot of flags tonight, and we're at the 10-minute mark of quarter number 2, and there's been about 9 flags already. So penalty declined. 3rd down and 10. Yeah, Palisades right now, they just want to play defense, and they don't even care about moving them back and giving another down.
Yeah, right now Palisades is just focusing on stuffing the ball.
Rodriguez in the backfield. Briner to throw. This time has all the time in the world for that moment, and boy, that changed quick. Just as I said, he had all the time in the world. Got eaten up on the play. And not a good sign. 2 players actually a little dinged up. That was Toby Witt that came off the field. So 4th down. So they don't get the 3 and out because of the penalty. But then they get the ball. Now Palisades, they fake this one, but it's not enough. So they go for a fake inside their own zone, and Palisades not fooled whatsoever, and Palisades going to have the ball. 1st down 10 from right around the 35-yard line. Wow. Again, I don't think anybody was expecting that one. They'll actually mark this one at the 34. Well, I'm going to tell you what, the Pirates right now have the possibility of a knockout punch here early. Still 9 minutes, 7 seconds on the clock in the second quarter.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of trick plays so far. I mean, you got the fake punt. You saw him dribble the ball over there. That was kind of cool, you know. A lot of mishaps going on.
Borgerson pressured and loses the football. The ball just sitting there. There's a flag on the play.
The pressure by number 22, Marcus Rodriguez. Penalty flag on the play.
So the penalty will move the Pirates back to midfield. The first down marker, if you're wondering, because I know, Jake, you are wondering, is around the 24-yard line. So while the Pirates had the ball where they did, this one moved all the way back. Second down and 25 from midfield. Borgeson going to try to get those back on the ground a little bit. And they'll gain about 7-8 yards going on through. So a good job of the Pirates working, seeing if they can get a little clock. Kyle Kirsch. So Kirsch tonight has that touchdown from 22 yards from Borgeson. And also has run the ball effectively. I asked Bobby Smith, I said, how important is Kyle in this game today? He goes, extremely. You know, senior, he's a leader. He's got, he's got to do, he knows what we got to do. He's quicker, and, he wants him to be in that position to get some stuff done. Near coming to the near side. Wanting a flag at the end of that play. So Kirsch goes first through the middle, now comes around and sweeps to the near side. And it'll be a fourth down, but fourth and manageable, about 2-3 yards.
Yeah, right now, I'm being honest, if you're Panther Valley, right now you're just focusing on getting a halftime and getting a stop here.
Let's go, Bowman! Come on, O-line!
Well, I was just going to say the last thing you want to do is jump offside and just give them a gift. And I think that's what just happened. And Borgeson was just going to wait there and just see, because they had 3 in a row earlier in the game.
Yeah, Panther Valley been a little jumpy all game, so Greg Borgeson just trying to draw him offside didn't work.
So remember, you're at 1st and 25, and then they get the ball back. Now the ball sits at the 23-yard line. Against homecoming night, we'll have the homecoming festivities at halftime. Borgeson's going to go up top. He's looking for a receiver, and the ball is dropped in the back of the end zone. No flags. So what we're seeing so far, Borgeson, he's throwing the ball. It's been on target.
Pass intended for Sessinger falls incomplete.
I think we were off the air there. I don't know how long we've been off. Back now. Hobart inside the 20 down to about the 19-yard line. I don't know if you turned it off or I turned it off. Hoping it was you.
I'm pretty sure it was
okay.
me.
If it was you, that's good, because then it's only been about 30 seconds or so. If it was me, it was the whole quarter. Inside 7 minutes.
Still getting used to this whole thing,
Of course. And Borgeson finds a huge hole, and he is going to go in for the touchdown. 19 yards for the touchdown for Borgeson as they increase the lead.
And that is his 3rd rushing touchdown on the season and 2nd touchdown tonight.
So the touchdown comes at the 6:36 mark. So there's a player down the field. Yeah, first quarter, John Hobart, 20 yards at the 5:32 mark, made it 7-0. At the 1:10 mark for Palisades, 22-yard touchdown by Kyle Kirsch. That was from Greg Borgeson on the pass play. Palisades then in the second quarter at the 11:20 mark, a 5-yard touchdown run by John Hobart, made it 21-0. That was his 2nd of the game. And then rushing touchdown for Borgeson, 19 yards here at the 6:36 mark. And we'll await the extra point. Merjan Brashadi was shaken up. And he's walking slowly back to the far sideline. 6'2", 175-pound senior. So the Pirates will look for the extra point. You feel a breeze up here in the press box. So there is, down the field, so a little bit of wind. It's wet down there as well. One of those kind of nights. But I tell you what, and I don't want to jinx this, but it stayed away considering, what we were expecting originally.
Yeah.
Snap, the kick is up, and that is through. And with 6:36 on the clock, 28-0.
To be honest, what a great night for football. The forecast was calling for a lot of rain, and we're out here playing the world's greatest game, America's greatest game.
Oh, see, yeah, look, good correction there.
I'm a soccer player, so
it's still football one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
Glad you could join us here on PSD TV. We have a couple of soccer games coming up right around the corner with our live stream, the girls and the boys soccer teams, and also we'll have the football game at the end of the season against arch rival Saucon Valley. That's on the 27th, I believe, that final Friday of the season. But before then, and the Pirates knew coming into the season, they knew they were going to have their hands full early part of the season. Banger, they're 4-1 already on the season. Palmerton is out of the gate doing fantastic, 4-1. Southern Lehigh's 5-0. So, three of the big boys right away you're facing. And now, you'll get back to kind of your classification and see if you can pick up a couple wins and qualify. This is a must. They'll go for the reverse again. And there's some space on the reverse. And off to the races and say goodbye right now. Never in doubt. Once they tried it, they got it. And going the length of the field is Brendan Kunkel.
And what a morale boost for Panther Valley. I mean, going down 28-0 isn't a way you want to start a game, but a kick return like that can set off a lot.
Well, Coach had told me before the game that Connor Pemberth had a kick return in a previous game. They go with that reverse twice so far. First time didn't get him, second time they got him. And that's a big one. I was ready to say, you could ill afford to go out 3 and out because next thing you know, you get to the half, they score one more, and when you start the third, the mercy rule's in effect. So they dodged a bullet there. A great job.
What is the mercy rule?
35 points anytime in the second half. Huh. Oh, and that one's blocked. So they get the block, and it's 28-6.
In the second block of the game for Palisades, first the block punt would set them up in great field position for the touchdown, and this one blocking the PAT and keeping them to 6 points.
So that touchdown comes 14 seconds after the touchdown from Greg Borgeson. Brendan Kunkel, kickoff return, 28-6, 83 yards. So 6:22 on the clock, 28-6. It's interesting, though, because special teams, we always talk about the 3 facets of the game, right? You got offense, defense, and special teams. And sometimes people don't talk about the special teams. Hey, listen, on a game like this, when it's kind of like misty out and all that, those are the things that can spark a team. Now we'll see, how that helps here. They go for the onside kick, and that one is handled by Palisades. So Palisades will get great field position at the 48-yard line. But, again, if you're Mark Levine, you're trying everything to get back into this game, and, he went for it right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you're saying, special teams is one of the key assets of every team. I mean, some teams just revolve around special teams, whether it be a PAT or a field goal for 3. I mean, that could win you a game.
So the Pirates will come back up. 28-6. So from their own 48, Borgeson, and they'll give it to Kirsch. And they'll go for the reverse, and Kirsch is downfield. He not stopping. Inside the 30, down to about the 25-yard line.
And both teams falling for a reverse here so far. One led to a touchdown off a kickoff, and that one a big game by Kyle Kirsch.
And just like that, Palisades back in business. Ball sits at the 25-yard line. And trying to fly through that middle was Hobart. Again, Hobart at 5'9", 140. So inside 6 minutes. Second down and 5, the ball at the 20. They'll split the receivers, and this has been that kind of night for Panther Valley. I believe that is I think it's 6 times that has happened so far tonight. So the Pirates will move the chains via the penalty and have the ball at the 15, so they can get another first down to 5 here on this drive. So from the 15, Borgeson pressured, and just throws that one down. Good job by Panther Valley. Defense was spot on there.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, I mean, this is a big game for Palisades. Not only is it a game they need a win, it's alumni night, so there's some of the past football players watching them as well. They want to win in front of them, and it's also homecoming night, so they want to win for the fans.
Yeah, a lot going on here. Just under 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the first half. It's all Palisades at this point. Second down and 10 from the 15. Harbor on the carry, skips through and gains a few inside the 10-yard line. Maybe gets down to the 9, depending on where they spot that one. Again, they can get a first down at the 5. So third down and 5. And they'll keep it in Hobbert's hands. Hobbert turns through, still on his feet, gets down inside the 1, touchdown. 10-yard touchdown. 3 rushing touchdowns for Hobart, 1 from 20, 1 from 5, 1 from 10.
And Johnny Hobart on fire tonight. I believe that's his 6th touchdown on the season.
Extra point. That went on the ground. Yeah, they never had a chance to do anything there. It skipped back. So 34-6.
And 2 missed PATs. I mean, not even missed. One of them was blocked here by Palisades against Panther Valley, and then one just a skipper along the grass for Palisades.
We've seen the ball on the ground a lot tonight. So what you're seeing is a 34-6 lead, 4:31 on the clock. So kind of you're right back where you were before, right? Palisades ended up scoring after the kickoff return. So now if you're Panther Valley, you got to try to score here before the half. The last thing you want to do is give Palisades the football back here before the end of the half.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no way you would want to give Palisades the ball back here, especially if you're Panther Valley. I mean, they do not want to go down by 34.
DJ Nicky Nick down there, mixing it up right in there.
It's homecoming night, baby. We gotta be on.
On the kickoff. See if they field this one and what they do with it. That ball just stops dead at the 20. And trying to make a return on that was Kunkel. Nothing this time. And they'll bring up the offense from about the 25-yard line. So glad you could join us here on PSD TV. Want to thank Brian Gilbert and his staff, always taking care of us here and part of a live streaming program that we started in the fall of 2018. You know, we said the other day, you know, we had maybe, over 40 students take part throughout that time that we've been doing this. And, you know, just giving everyone the opportunity. And, you know, I know, Jake, you've been doing this for, with me for, a couple of times. And every time you do it, I think you like it more and more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love doing this. I mean, wrote my freshman paper on it, actually. So
I like to read that. Send it my way. All right, so they go trips here to the near side. They're going to roll it and throw it, and that one is incomplete. Going right in front of the Palisades bench. And they'll bring up a second down. Clock stops at 4:20. Panther Valley coming off a tough loss in the game they were in against Minersville, 41-28. And we mentioned before on a couple of occasions, Schuylkill Haven edging out Palisades last week, 14-7, a game that went down to literally the wire.
I mean, last week anything could have happened. I mean, if his foot was in there, they could have gone down, scored a PAT in overtime.
They're going to throw. They're going to toss it far side. And that's Kunkel. Doesn't get much. So maybe a pickup of 2 or so. And we approach the 4-minute mark. And here they are again at third down. So a big play here. Third down and 8. Still 3 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. As Panther Valley looks to keep this drive going. Here comes the pressure, and that ball, it just knocked away. Wow. They saw the rush coming and just let the ball, got rid of the ball right away. So this will bring up a 4th down. And we said earlier, the last thing you want to do is give Palisades the opportunity to get the ball back again. They will.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to give Palisades the ball back, especially in your own half.
Who's back there? Borgeson, it looks like, and Ashton Fitzgerald, I believe. He'll get this one off. This one actually goes out of bounds. Let's see where they mark this one, to 43. No, they're still moving it up. So the 46-yard line. So the Pirates. Pirates still have 2 timeouts left and 3 minutes and 20 seconds to work with here in the first half.
First down and 10. Ball on the Pirate 46.
And the thing, too, Jake, we were talking about is they lose the game last week to Schuylkill Haven, and we'll check, we get a chance either after this play or halftime, the District 11 standings again, and that's a team that's leading the way and getting the ball back. Here's a good run. Flying down and getting the first down and moving the chains. Good job by Borgeson. I'll pop it up right now and look at it. So Schuylkill Haven's at 4-1. This is a team that Palisades had really and with a chance to tie. Williams Valley and Catasauqua, Penargil, they'll see coming up. So some of those teams are there waiting for them at the same time.
Yeah, as you were saying, I mean, Schuylkill Valley, they had that one, and just a few key mistakes that led to the loss, and I think if they play them again, they can win.
And this one off, and Ashton Fitzgerald makes the turn, and he will move the chains again. So we are down to about 3 minutes and change, and Palisades driving again.
Ball spotted on the 20-yard line. 15-yard pickup for Fitzgerald. First down and 10.
The ball at the 20-yard line now for the Pirates. That one to Hobart. Hobart, the extra push forward. It gets across the 15. And they'll mark him right at the 15-yard line, I believe.
John Hobart with the carry, gaining work on the tackle.
Again, the first down marker will be at the 10-yard line.
Ball spotted on the 14-yard line.
Hobart again gets a block. And Hobart goes in for the touchdown. 14 yards on the score. Fourth rushing touchdown.
And right now, John Hobart seems absolutely unstoppable. His fourth touchdown of the night, like you were saying, and his seventh touchdown on the season.
There's an injured player on the field from Panther Valley. And hopefully it's just a cramp, but not sure. So Palisades scores with 1:56 on the clock. Again, Hobart, if you're just joining us, had a touchdown run of 20, 5, 10, and 14. So 4 touchdowns. So right now the concern is down the field. Again, mercy rule right now, 35 points. It does not start until the third quarter. So if you're Panther Valley and you're looking for an extra point here for Palisades, it won't go into effect until the start of the third quarter. If they score, whether it's a field goal or whatever it is, then they'll put that in effect. But right now the concern is down the field, and I don't have a number of the player that's down for Panther Valley.
Yeah, you hate to see injuries, honestly. It doesn't matter what team it's on. It's terrible.
No, because in the end, we always talk about you're all one team when it comes to, you're playing a sport and a passion that you love, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone's playing the same sport. You're doing things you love, and some people want to make it big just like you, so.
Originally we said, maybe it was just a cramp, but it doesn't look that way at all. There's a lot of people down on the field looking into this. As the Panther Valley players make their way back to the sidelines. Didn't see who the player is, but now it looks like he's starting to move and sit up. So injury comes here with 1:56 on the clock. And we've seen some big hits so far tonight. That I didn't see. That was on the right side of the field, on the far side, and the play came to the near side. So, the way I was looking to the left, so I never saw, kind of what happened there.
Yeah, me neither.
Jim Haney talking to the coaching staff. Oh. This is, long time. It's not like it's, 30 seconds or a minute. So obviously there's a big concern there down on the field, which we can't tell from up here, but I believe from what we saw, the player maybe leaned up, but there's so many people there, I couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like it's number 56, Marco Tessitore, a 6', 255-pound sophomore.
Yeah, at this point, you're just hoping he's okay, and if he is injured, hoping he has a speedy recovery.
Yeah, 1,000%. Well, while this is going on, and they continue to attend, we were talking about the standings in the district, because this is a 2A classification, and at the schedule for Palisades, next up for them is at Panther and then Minersville. And if you look at what Panther Valley has done, Panther Valley played Minersville tough, 41-28. So again, we always say, you're looking at Schuylkill League, you're looking at Colonial, you don't know the teams until you get a chance to see them yourself, to get a better idea of if they're really that good or not. And I think Palisades is going to know that. I mean, they're sitting at one win, but they were that close to tying Schuylkill Haven. It was the top team up there, and then they have still Catasauqua, who's right above them coming into tonight, and Panther, who's right above them coming into tonight. Both those teams in action, as we speak.
Yeah, Panther next week for Palisades could be a big game for Palisades, especially in the win column if they win here tonight. And last year, Catasauqua kicking them out of the playoffs early, they definitely want to get back.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sometimes it's fresh in the minds of players. Right now, the concern is down on the field. It is first responders night, so that's a good thing if we say anything, because there are a medical staff around. So they're bringing out again. He is sitting up, and it looks like maybe working down, maybe in his leg. Stoppage of play comes here with 1:56 on the clock. It's 40-6. We're in the first half of play here from Palisades High School. And it's been all Pirates. Just recap the scoring. First quarter at the 5:32 mark, a 20-yard touchdown run by John Harbert made it 7-0 Pirates. Then about 4 minutes later, Pirates got a touchdown by Kyle Kirsch. It came from Greg Borgeson on a pass play that covered 22 yards, 14-0, and that was your score after one quarter of play. In the second quarter, moments in, only 40 seconds in, a 5-yard touchdown run by Harbert, his second of the game, made it 21-0. Palisades counter right afterwards after I think it was the third consecutive 3-and-out for Panther Valley. At the 6:36 mark, a 19-yard touchdown run by Borgeson to make it 28-0. And then, we talk about this quarter. There's been a lot of points scored in this second quarter. Just 14 seconds later, it was on a kick return, 83 yards. Brennan Kunkel on a reverse took it back to the house. That was at the 6:22 mark to make it 28-6. But the ensuing kickoff, changed, good field position, a penalty, and then a 10-yard touchdown run by Hobart at the 4:31 mark that made it 34-6. And then from there, Palisades just moments ago at the 1:56 mark, another touchdown, the fourth of the game for Hobart, that one from 14 yards. And that's where we stand right now. It's 40-6 with the extra point pending. Right now we're waiting on the injury down on the field. And again, I want to speculate, but I'm pretty sure I saw the number correctly, but we'll wait to make sure.
Yeah, I believe it's 58 or 56.
Yeah, look at like it was Marco Testatori, the 6 foot, 255-pound sophomore from what we saw initially. Yeah, we'll keep it right here, as I don't know if they're going to bring out a stretcher or not, because if they're working that leg, I would think if it is a lower leg injury, they may have to put him on a stretcher. Again, we'll wait. Again, the jersey came off. Pads came off. So they're going to bring out a cart of some sort to take him off the field. So that has come out. And again, once they put him up there, you get a big ovation, obviously. The question is now, is this is going to be a tough task to get. It's not like it's a small guy either. $255-pound kid. Again, the injury came, and it's been about, I would say about almost 10, 12 minutes that he's been down in the field after the touchdown by Hobart. The good thing is, So I'm not so sure it was the leg.
Seems like it's a neck injury, yeah.
So always great to see all the players come back onto the field, as they will attend to him here. And we wish him the best, without question, here with 1:56 on the clock. And, you know, you're Panther Valley now, you got to kind of regroup. And you got to, try to pick up any kind of game you can. And, you're thinking about your teammate this entire time. You and I had talked about this prior to his injury. We talked about it earlier. You never want to see anybody hurt, but, you're in this all together. And this is, I love seeing this. I mean, this is the Palisades team walking over and, doing this. So this is what sports is all about.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you see the negative things that, we see in our society, but this is real. And this is, what you want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just great sportsmanship from Palisades and great sportsmanship from both teams all around.
And interesting now, you still have 2 minutes left in the first half. Then you have a 20-minute halftime on top of that. So there's a long wait. Plus, on top of that, the players, because this has been about a 15-minute stoppage. So they're going to warm them up for a couple of minutes.
Now, I'm not going to lie. As we're watching it, this team kind of reminds me of last year's team. I mean, yeah, Greg Borderson kind of reminded me of Kai Steinson playing safety and quarterback, a great rushing quarterback that can throw the ball. And then you got John Harbert, kind of reminded me of Stephen Lilly, getting around, getting in the end zone.
Yeah, and we'll see. Talking to the coach and, while, there's some young players on this team. There's some players that are stepping up. We're in week 6, so those younger players don't get that young anymore. They're in the mix. But sometimes, when you have younger players who are only playing a few minutes and then becomes a few more minutes and that's the youth right there, moving yourself forward. And what happens?
Once again, let's have a nice hand to wish all the best. Speedy recovery.
So we'll get some action back of it. When we get back to action, they're going to give them maybe 2 more minutes. Again, this is an extra point pending to, kind of restart yourself, right? But, again, if 41-6, put you at that 35 mark, depending on what happens in the final 2 minutes.
Yeah, obviously you hate to see an injury like that, but restarting like this, getting warmed up, this could do a lot. If Panther Valley goes down and scores off this before halftime, and then they could come back out at halftime and just get on the right track.
Yeah, and if you're Palisades right now, the biggest thing you want, you want to get that extra point and put it at 35 at least.
Yeah, you want to keep the momentum going if you're Palisades.
Sometimes this happens, you get that stall, and it's like, and what I was trying to say before is, so the game was stopped for 15. Now you're going to play for, depending on how quick this 2 minutes is, it's still 2 minutes, and then you're going to be out for 20 minutes. It's almost going to be 25 minutes. It's almost like a restart. And it's like, okay, well, who's going to restart more? But again, homecoming festivities coming up at the half. All right, so extra point attempt. extra point is up, and it's good. So 41-6. So that puts it at 35, and now a minute 56. Again, Coach Levine's got to get his team, motivated. And I think sometimes, again, you're getting beat to the ball so far tonight for Panther Valley. Their best part of their game has been their return game, right? They returned one for a touchdown, and they had a good yardage on another return. So you'd like to get something going here if you can. But again, they're thinking of their teammate at the same time, and plus Palisades has been all over them defensively. So this is a crucial 156. Again, maybe out of reach already, but that being said, they like to go in. I always say you want to go in the locker room with some momentum. And right now the momentum is sitting here in favor of Palisades. This one will be fielded, actually dropped and covered up. Great job there to go and get it right around the 23-yard line. So 154 as we resume play here from Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. Some people in the media like to call this the Walt. I just want to throw it out there. 41-6 with 154 on the clock.
I mean, homecoming night, it kind of seems like Walt Disneyland out here,
Yeah, right. All right. So first down and 10. The ball sits at the 23. Looking to throw. Popped as he throws, but he gets it out there. Wait, he caught that. Did he catch it or not? Nope. Incomplete. Was looking in the direction of Connor Pemberth. So I bring up a second down. Second down roll, and here comes the pressure again. Puts one up, and that one's going to be intercepted. The INT. And the space on the far side. And there's a flag on the play. There's a flag here on the near side and one to the far side after the interception.
Now, I was going to say, the funny thing is last time I commentated one of these games, Riley Sessinger had a pick six. So watching that right there, Riley Sessinger getting a pick, I thought he was going to have another pick six.
So you're basically saying if you're doing these games, you expect Riley Sessinger to have at least a pick?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure I know that.
So Saucon Valley coming up, Riley. If you hear this after the game.
There's been a bunch of penalties in this game. And, the offside penalties, I believe it was 6 for 30 yards alone. So Jim Haney here with the call. Jim Haney's not going to like the music here at Palisades.
No, I actually thought it was great.
So there was all that. There was a horse collar there as well. And the ball goes to 30 after some offsetting penalties. So they have the ball at the 30-yard line with 1:35 on the clock. Again, if anything, though, we were saying before we said you couldn't give Palisades the ball back. Now they have it back even more. And look at the handoff coming in near side. So the ball sits at the 24-yard line. He gives one. Oh, I thought they were going to give it to Hauber, but the ball goes down. And I bring up a third down. So there's 50 seconds left on the clock. No. So there's 44 seconds left. And Palisades with a big lead, and they have the mercy rule in effect right now. I don't know if they're going to do anything crazy when it comes to stopping that clock or not, but it's third down. Morganson has time. Middle part of the field, and he overthrows his receiver. He's looking for Hobart, and that stops the clock with 23 seconds left and a fourth down. So this is going to be a 45-yard field goal attempt. And that one's going to be well short. So 17 seconds left. Panther Valley will get the ball back. Again, Panther Valley has really 17 seconds to see if they can do some kind of score, or else with the start of the third quarter it will go into effect. It's been a long minute and 56 seconds.
Now, if I was Panther Valley, I don't really know what I would do here. I don't know if I would try and score, or if I would just take the knee and go.
Yeah, I think the position are where you are on the field, I think you're going to take a knee. But, that being said, so I think they are going to do that. So they take the knee, and the clock will wind down, and they will go in the locker room with Palisades in control 41-6. When they come out after a 20-minute homecoming, it will be a mercy rule that will start into effect in the third quarter. So it will be a quick moving third quarter. There you see the score right now, 41-6. We'll be right back. You're watching PSD TV.
champions, Kirsten Bears and Aiden Kirk. We hope you enjoy the elements. attended Durham-Knockemixon during her elementary school years. Lacey is a member of the basketball and track teams. She also participates in Spanish club and link crew. In the future, Lacey is looking forward to graduating high school and traveling the world in her VW bus, accompanied by her French bulldog, Lacey Amato. Let's welcome Jenna Magditch. Jenna is escorted by Stacy and Jason Magditch, and they reside in Springfield Township. She attended Durham-Knockemixon Elementary School. Jenna is a member of the soccer team, is involved in student government, Spanish and French club, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Link Crew, and National Honor Society. In the future, Jenna hopes to go to school to become an orthodontist, travel all around Europe, and then settle down and have twins, a boy and a girl. Jenna Magditch. Now we welcome the 11th grade boys. Let's say hello to Will Anderson. Will is escorted by Kathy Anderson and Jason Anderson. Will resides in Rigglesville. He attended Durham-Knockemixon Elementary School. He is a member of the varsity basketball team, tennis team, and soccer team. He additionally, Will participates in German club, link crew, and in the future, Will plans to attend and graduate from college and have fun. Will Anderson. Let's say hello to John Hobart. John is escorted by John and Sarah Hobart and resides in Knockemixon Township. He attended Durham-Knockemixon Elementary School. John is active in Palisades Athletics, where he is a member of both the football and wrestling team. In the future, John hopes to get a college degree and have a happy, beautiful family with my 10 of 10 wifey. John Hobart. And now we welcome the 12th grade girl. Let's say hello to Cora Anderson. Cora is escorted by Kathy Anderson and Jason Anderson. Cora resides in Rigglesville. She attended Durham-Knockemixon during her elementary years. Cora is the tennis team captain and is a member of the varsity basketball team. Is a co-student producer of the fall play. Is the student body president. Is the National Honor Society president. Is the vocal club vice president and is a member of French club. Cora is also a chair of the Bucks County Student Forum and participates in the Madrigal's vocal group. In the future, Cora plans to attend college and law school and then lead a happy and successful life. Cora Anderson. Ailish Kelleher. Ailish is escorted by Dana Kelleher and Jim Kelleher. Ailish resides in Coopersburg. She attended Springfield Elementary School. Ailish is a member of Kids for Kindness, Future Business Leaders of America, the Unified Bocce Ball Team, is a link crew leader, and an avid member of the choir. She earned 4 varsity letters in cheerleading and earned 3 varsity letters in softball. In the future, Ailish wants to attend college, get married, have a big family, and live in a white farmhouse. Ailish Kelleher. And now we welcome Kayla Russo. Kayla is escorted by Natalie and Anthony Russo and resides in Springfield Township. She attended Our Lady of Cavalry during her elementary school years. Kayla is a member of the varsity softball team, is the president of Yearbook Club, and is a member of the National Honor Society, and is also a link crew leader. In the future, Kayla wants to attend college, get married, and have 3 children, and live a happy life. Kayla Russo. And now for the 12th grade boys, let's say hello to Tyler Bonelli. Tyler is escorted by Jenny Wyatt and John Bonelli. Tyler resides in Tinicum Township and attended Tinicum Elementary School. Tyler is involved with Palisades Athletics, where he plays both baseball and basketball. In the future, Tyler would like to attend college, where he would continue playing baseball. Tyler Bonelli. Now we welcome Mason Campbell.
Mason Campbell, Corey Anderson, your king and queen. We'll take a quick break. We'll get ready to start the third quarter when we return. All right, back here at Palisades High School, Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. Schuylkill League, Colonial League football action. It's 41-6 at the half. The mercy rule will go into effect as we get the opening kick. So what that means, for the most part, it'll be a quick second half with that clock moving. For the most part, the entire time, even the ball goes out of bounds, unless there's change of possession or an injury, or officials timeout. I mean, it's going to be moving. So it's going to be you put 12 minutes on the clock, you add another 12, that's 24, and then you put something in between. So if you're Palisades, you just keep doing what you're doing. Again, we talked about this before. This has been a long break. You had the injury that was about 15 minutes. Then you played 3 more minutes. You've been in the locker room for 20, plus the extra 3 they put on the clock. That's 23 minutes. It's been a while since they, make their way back onto the field.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, it's kind of like just restarting the game, basically. Just start over a new half. And I think Panther Valley got to play like it's 0-0. Just come out of the gate strong see what happens.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they got to do. While we have a moment, while they're there and doing that, let's bring in our district rankings once again. Schuylkill Haven playing tonight as well. And we get ready to start things off here in the third quarter. And add insult to injury, it's Palisades that gets the football to start the second half. And then John Hauber will be wearing number 28 here in the second half, we were being told. No longer 20. And flying right through. And great field position after the run back by Ashton Fitzgerald, the 5'10", 145-pound sophomore. So I talked to Bobby Smith, and he talked about some younger guys, and you and I have mentioned that during the game. They're getting their feet wet even more tonight, right? This is their sixth game, and when you get 3 minutes, then 5 minutes, then 9 minutes, then 13 minutes, then 16 minutes, those start adding up, and players start getting more comfortable, because when you're going in there for 3-4 minutes, you're not comfortable, right? In any sport. But when you start getting in some kind of rhythm, then you realize, all right, I'm going to get this amount of minutes. You become a better player by learning that way. This ball just trickled. So a minute in to the third quarter, 41-6 is your score. And they go on the ground. Harvard on the carry. Harvard said he's had a solid night. We said it from the beginning to now. He's been solid.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns already, 7 touchdowns on the season. Obviously, his like we said, his jersey ripped, so he will be wearing the number 28, but that's just hard work.
He'll keep it on the ground. And that carry by Kyle Kirsch. So it brings up fourth down.
In the game at quarterback is the number 3, Jack Chirkel.
Well, they'll get the first down, and they'll get a little bit more. And straight through the middle for the touchdown. So Kirsch, we talked about it earlier, goes in for the big touchdown. 43 yards on the touchdown for Kirsch. And that comes at the 9:35 mark for Palisades here in the third. Extra point is up there and good. It makes it 48-6. And Jake, just, I guess, you go in the locker room, come out of the locker room, playing the same way they played in the first half, they're playing in the second half. Good start for them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the way you want to come out any halftime. I mean, you just got to come out strong and play like you've been playing.
So for Kirsch, that's his second touchdown of the game. Caught a 22-yard touchdown that made it 14-0 in the first quarter, and now gets that run from 43 yards.
Yeah, like we were saying, I mean, Kyle Kirsch, a very versatile player. I mean, he had the big hit earlier in the game, and then like we saw, the receiving touchdown, and like we saw just a moment ago, the rushing touchdown. He can really play anywhere on the field.
You guys have the stats on
Johnny to Russell. Right here. Look at Johnny rushing at the end of 100. Yeah, he's close. Johnny Halbert got 80 miles.
So 9:35 in the clock on the run back from 15. And that's taken by Connor Pemberth. And Berth up to the 28-yard line.
Connor Henberg on the return, a 12-yard return, setting up first down and 10 for the Panthers. To the 28-yard line.
(48-6). Palisades coming up big on this homecoming evening. Briner looking to go somewhere, but just goes absolutely down. Those purple jerseys not moving. Again, we talked about the interior part of the line. It's been helping them the entire night, really set the tone early in this game.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, Silas Day coming off the edge, and then the whole D tackles and all of them just coming in and getting them most of the time.
Clock down to 8:25 and counting. Palisades looking to improve here to 2-4, and will drop Panthers to 2-4. Get our thoughts go out to Marco Testatore, who was injured and carted off the field earlier. It's twice in a row. Again, it's been like that. We talk about the opening drive from Panther Valley. If you're just joining us, there's a pass interference call against Palisades. Then it was 3 and out, 3 in a row, and Palisades took advantage of that time. You know, well, it was 3 and out for Panther Valley. Palisades was scoring touchdowns and taking advantage and moving it up the field. So it brings up a 3rd down and 15 from a 23. Brody Briner looking to throw. He goes far sideline, and that one incomplete. It'll bring up a 4th down. We see the punting unit come back in. So the Pirates will get great field position here. High snap, that ball juggled, then got to get rid of it. Does a great job of getting rid of that ball. And that one is picked up by Ashton Fitzgerald, and he gets taken down around the 44-yard line or so. I don't know how he got that ball away. Glad you could join us here on PSD TV. Al DiCarlo, Jake Bucci, a junior here at Palisades High School. It's been all Pirates in this one. Last year they won the game by a score of 35-7. A couple years back in 2020, it was a district playoff game here, and it was 70-6 in favor of Palisades in that contest. Tonight, first responder night, military night, homecoming night. You said alumni night. You know, it's all coming out to be a good night for, Pirates and their fans.
And that 70-6 mark doesn't actually seem too far away at this point. 48-6 Palisades here.
And gonna keep this one on the ground. Again, you see some new numbers. They'll be making their way onto the field for both teams. Hauber closing in on about 100 yards on the night. So Halbert remains in there in the backfield, different number. He'll get another run, trying to make the turn, and we'll move the chains for a first down. Clock inside 5 minutes here in the third. Taking plenty of time. They give it to Hobart again. Hobart gain a couple extra yards. Again, you're getting 3 or 4 yards. You're going to just keep the ball. They're not going to throw anymore anyway. North Schuylkill getting a win tonight over Notre Dame by a score of 28-21. And the Pirates are going to watch that play clock and wait as much as they can to take the snap. And it's Hobart again coming to the near side, has a little seam, pushes forward, and gets popped at the 30-yard line. Looks that he's going to be close to that first down marker. I think he's going to get this one to move the chains. Not bad for Hobart. 4 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing. Just his type of game. Jack Turkel remains in there at quarterback. Hobart again. In a game like this, and you know when we talk about when the mercy rule goes into effect, you're taking all the time you can. And you don't realize how quick a quarter can go when that clock is rolling. Again, this is just run, but the ball goes out of bounds. It's still the clock's still moving along. It's right down to 2 minutes and 30.
At this point, I think Palisades is just going to rush the whole time.
Yep.
I don't think a single pass play is going to happen, honestly, throughout the next 2 minutes or throughout the next quarter.
Correct. Pirates will come up out of the huddle at 10 seconds on the play clock. Turkel takes a snap. And Hobart goes down. And I'll bring up a third down. Again, that play clock, remember, it's at 40 seconds. So you run 2 plays, it's already a minute and a half off the clock.
Yeah, after last week's loss, Palisades definitely wanted to come back here and win this one.
And they're going to win this one in a big fashion here, as they'll still have 1 quarter to play. It'll be a third down. And Hobart, far side, cuts up field and dives forward. Be short of that first down marker and bring up a 4th down. You can look ahead for Panther Valley. They get Schuylkill Haven next week on the road, at Catasauqua on the road, Penargil and Tamaqua to finish at home for the Palisades Pirates. They'll be on the road for the next 2 weeks at Penargil, who's ahead of them in the standings, then at Minersville, Catasauqua home, who's ahead of them in the standings, and then Saucon Valley at home to finish out the regular season. On the ground,
Yeah, and Saucon Valley could be one of their biggest games. That could be a make or break game for them, especially in the district standing.
Yep, because when you look at a district bracket, only the top 4 teams get in. And right now, again, going into tonight, Schuylkill Haven, Williams Valley, Catasauqua, Penn Argyl. And that's going to run out the third quarter. So 3 in the books, 1 to play. 48-6 is your score in favor of the Pirates. You're watching PSD TV. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back here to Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. Al DiCarlo, Jake Bucci, Jr. here at Palisades. We're into the fourth. It's 48-6 in favor of the Pirates as we got a 43-yard touchdown run by Kyle Kirsch in that third quarter to increase the lead. And so coming out of the quarter, Panther Valley calls a timeout just a couple seconds in. And so we heard a score, Schuylkill Haven leading. Again, I'm going to pop this up while I have a second. So to give you an idea, Schuylkill Haven leading Catasauqua. So Catasauqua looks, again, as we're talking, could get a loss. They go to 3-3. Palisades is putting themselves in a position. And Penn Argyl is losing tonight too, so they'll go to 3-3. So there could be a lot of movement tonight. Is there enough points for Palisades to climb into fourth yet? I don't think there is after tonight. But, you get a win next week, then all of a sudden I think that could change a little bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I mean, Palisades is in fifth place because of the difficulty of the schedule. And a win tonight and both losses, anything can happen.
So back to action here as we start the fourth on the handoff. And powering through is Lincoln Cook. Lincoln Cook, a 6 foot, 145-pound freshman. Again, if you're watching us here on our live stream, we'll be back at it on Monday with girls soccer against Southern Lehigh right here at Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. And then on Wednesday, we'll get a chance to see my sidekick here, Jake Bucci, hit the pitch against Saucon Valley. Mic'd up down there. We're not sure yet, though.
We're hoping. We're hoping.
So underway here in the fourth quarter. The ball sits at the 11-yard line for the Pirates. That ball on the ground. And Turkel will pick it up and gets inside the 10, down to the 5. And they'll get taken out of bounds around the 4-yard line. Here's your trivia question for tonight. Jack's sister was one of the first of 3 field hockey players to announce the first ever game live stream, and that was back in 2018. Can you name the other 2? All right.
Morgan Magditch.
That's correct.
Right off the top of my head, I knew that one.
I know you're getting help from the peanut gallery over there.
You know, I don't think I could name the other one.
All right, Caitlin Shoemaker.
Oh.
And Sammy Turkel, the three that were in the booth with me the first game that we did with girls soccer. And diving on through. Turkel gets the touchdown for 3 yards. So great to see that for the sophomore. So we're in the fourth. Turkel gets a touchdown at the 10-11 mark. Extra point attempt. That one is up, and that is good. $55-6 Pirates on top. Again, when you score, that clock obviously stops. So they'll start moving again here as we go.
You know, realistically, if I'm Palisades up, 49 points or so, I would honestly just run the ball. If you get the ball back, just run the ball. You don't need to score. You don't really need to do anything. You just need to let the time run out.
Yep. We'll see defensively how they line up. And for, Panther Valley, you look at Panther Valley, for them, as they get ready for their next matchup against Schuylkill Haven, they like to get something in the end zone. They got one tonight on a kick return, but nothing to really, with the offense. If they can see if they can finish strong here, they'll go out at least get onto the bus with something that a little momentum there towards the end of this game, because it's been a tough game for them throughout. That one handled there by Matt Spino. Spino, a 5'8", 135-pound sophomore. Again, if you're just joining us, it's been all Palisades in this one. John Hobart with 4 rushing touchdowns, also 19 carries for 122 yards with those 4 touchdowns. So you can say that's a solid night. Touchdowns of 20, 5, 10, and 14 for John Hobart.
Now, I don't know about you, but this could honestly be one of the best games I've seen Palisades play this year.
We talked about the interior line. They put that in play. They've been all over the ball. Here's another one. I was just going to say that. They've been all over the ball. And now you got other players, younger players in there and getting a chance. Get a chance. And I always say those younger guys, they're trying to tell the coach, hey, I want to stay in here. So they want to make sure that they impress. So they're working their butt off even harder because they know that every play is going to be noticed by the coaching staff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's still a varsity football game. So all these freshmen and all these younger guys want to show off what they can do and try and make that starting spot.
Spino gives that one up. Matt Spino, a 5'8" sophomore quarterback in there, replacing Brody Briner, another sophomore who started. Coach Smith talked about Kyle Kirsch before the game being a key player, and I think we saw that tonight. He really, kind of set the tone. He had that 22-yard touchdown to make it 14-0, and that was like almost, okay, from there it just started picking up.
Yeah, it's really just about building momentum. Palisades scored the first one and then scored the second one, and it was on one from there.
Spino looking to throw, goes far side. That one incomplete, was looking in the direction of Ben Benaravich. So the punting unit come in once again. So we're quickly approaching that 7-minute mark. Brad Jones let that one fly, and this is returnable. And the Pirates will take over right around the 46-yard line, which what we expect to be possibly the final possession of the night, as they will take those 40 seconds of play clock and use all 40 before they snap the football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Again, back to action with our live stream on Monday and on Wednesday here at Palisades. Looking forward to those soccer games this week or next week as we get into the month of October. Just like that, we're into October. Enjoy the last couple days here of September.
Feels like it was summer just the other day, and now we're already close to Halloween. So
yeah, and interesting you said summer. It's going to feel a little bit like summer next week. I think we're going to get back into the 80s.
oh.
So 70s and 80s, take those. There's a flag thrown. There's a face mask. So that moves the ball back. It's been, even the penalties, that's, going to be a hard, definitely going to be talked about for Panther Valley and their coaching staff with the players. They've had them throughout the night in the beginning, that stretch where they jumped offside 3 straight times. Kell on the handoff to Ashton Fitzgerald.
Now, you got to give credit to Panther Valley, honestly. You're down this much, but they're still fighting. I mean, they still want to play football, so they're still going at them, still tackling them, not giving them a break.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, you got to play. The coaches always say you play for 4 quarters. You play, and you have to play to the end. Say you make one play and you force a fumble. That's a positive. You want to see if you can get a positive. You may not, but you're still playing to the final whistle, and that's what's key. Is right now, Palisades is just waiting down to about the final 5 seconds to snap the ball. They keep it on the ground. And they'll get that one inside the 30 down to about the 29-yard line. On the carry by Carter Kilhefner. Kilhefner, a 5'9", 135-pound freshman. You get into a football game as a freshman. I had a game the other night that the quarterback ended up being the freshman starting for Lee Heighton. But you get in, it's like, well, I'm in the game. That really gets the blood flowing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're coming like right off of. Yeah, you're coming right from like middle school football, all that stuff, and you're coming in the game. It's a much bigger atmosphere, It doesn't really matter what sport. Obviously, football, one of them, because of how many fans you got out here. But football, soccer, baseball, all that, you're coming into the game, and you're just learning.
And the biggest thing that we talk about all the time, the biggest thing you're learning right now is the speed of the game. Going from middle school and all of a sudden going to the varsity level, or you're seeing a big difference. So 4th down and 3. It's been like that all night for Panther Valley. So that gives them another first down. That happened earlier in the night when they got the first down via the penalty. Final 3 minutes. And right now, if you're Palisades, one more first down, and that should close out the clock. As the clock inside 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I want to thank Brian Gilbert, everyone here at Palisades, do a tremendous job. Always taking care of us in the press box as well. Homecoming night. Well, now Palisades is going to have to burn a timeout, I think, because I don't know if they're going to snap this in time. This is going to be a penalty on Palisades. So they get the penalty there. So that moved them back 5 yards. So inside 2 minutes. They're not going to get this off either. No, they do. They get off. Traquel, far side. They'll gain a couple yards. Again, while I have it now, since this is winding down, I'm going to take you through the rest of the scoring here. Palisades, 20-yard touchdown by John Hobart at the 5:32 mark, made it 7-0. Then a 22-yard touchdown by Kyle Kirsch from Greg Borgeson. That was at the 1:10 mark of the first quarter. It was 14-0 after one. A 5-yard touchdown run by Hobart at the 11:20 mark of the second quarter, made it 21-0. Then a 19-yard touchdown run by Greg Borgeson, at the 6:36 mark, made it 28-0. Now they can take a victory formation. They can take a snap here. Ensuing kickoff, 83 yards on a reverse, Brennan Kunkel to make it 28-6. Only points of the game for Panther Valley. But following that, it was a 10-yard touchdown by Hobart at the 4:31 mark. Then a 4-yard touchdown by Hobart to make it 41-6. A 43-yard touchdown by Kyle Kirsch to make it 48-6. And then Jack Traquel, a 3-yard touchdown to make it 55-6. That's your final score. Your final thoughts?
I mean, I think Palisades played very good. I mean, if they played any team like they just played that game, I think they could have won, especially Schuylkill Haven last week. And honestly, just a great game overall. The defense played absolutely outstanding, especially the defensive line like we talked about. And John Hobart coming in with 4 touchdowns and winning the game for Palisades.
Well, the clock will wind down. Final score in this one is 55-6 in favor of Palisades. They go to 2-4. Panther Valley falls to 2-4. We'll be back at it on Monday for girls soccer. Then Wednesday for boys soccer. We'll have our next football game on the final night of the regular season against Saucon Valley. That'll do it for tonight. For Brian Gilbert, for everyone here at Palisades, for Jake Bucci, I'm Al DiCarlo saying so long. Hope you enjoyed it. Palisades wins this one, 55-6, your final score. Have a great night, everyone.